for sale. What's up, guys? Drift episodes after hours, I guess.
Yes, sir.
We're over here with Matt Vgo and his beautiful S13 VERT, man. This thing, right?
Yes.
S13 VERT. I
Yes,
kind of know
sir.
what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
A little bit. This thing is so bad, dude. Matt, you guys probably know Matt's car from Speed Metal. A
Yes.
clip that a few people seen.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the people jumped over me or whatever.
We're going to talk about Matt's car, but before we do, Matt, tell us a little about yourself, man. I know you fab, right?
Yes, yes.
So how long you been fabbing? What do you do, my boy?
So I went to Chico, and while in Chico, I was doing like criminal justice stuff, and I had to take a class in order to gain credits or whatever. So I took a welding class. I was like, it had my interest before that. You know, I started doing it and then bought a welder and started playing with stuff on my own. And I had like 240s at the time. I was like dailing an SR20 coupe while in college.
Dude, that's bad.
And it was cool. So I pretty much just started messing with stuff on my own car and friends' cars and stuff like that. And then it kind of took off to where it is now.
So you were in college for something completely different?
Yes, completely different. Criminal justice.
Criminal justice, yeah, you're on the law enforcement path.
Yeah, went from that to basically being into welding, so.
Yeah, building dream cars.
Yeah, so I mean, like my welding career kind of has gone all over the place. So it started out with like welding at a shipyard in San Diego, and then from there I went to Union Pacific for a little bit and did railroad welding and was traveling out and doing stuff in the Midwest for a couple weeks at a time and then being back. And then I found a shop local in Fontana that I'm working at, stuff out of my garage as well. So. And
that's the main hustle.
Yes, yes.
Right on. Matt, so Matt helped me out with some parts for a car. What was something for what was it?
I have no clue. Honestly.
I think it was
the sway bars or
sway
something.
bar stuff for Martin from O&D's kit, Martin Specs kit. You had, dude, I seen some treasure over there.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that yet? Maybe some other day?
I have a couple cars that I'm working on, so.
If you want to list those bad boys, what are they?
Dude, I'm working on like a 4-door, 4-bucket seat cage for a buddy of mine and a Skyline, and that's getting like a K24 swap. Obviously, I have a 1JZ coupe also that's kind of similar to this, but a little bit more scaled up. I'm doing another K24 swap in a buddy's S13 coupe, and that includes like a full cage and all that stuff. TF Works made it more popular in the past couple years, coming out with their K-swap kits for all the different chassis, so S13s, ERZs, all the other stuff that they want to put them in, and kind of made it more popular, and you see a lot of people doing it now just because the motors are cheap. The swap kit isn't cheap by any means, but if you pop a motor, it's, you know, $1,000 motor or less. Versus like a $4,000 or $5,000 JZ for just a stock 1J or 2J.
So how much is a stock 1J, 2J, or an SR right now?
Stock 1Js are anywhere from like $3,000, $4,000, and then 2Js are anywhere from like $5,000 to $6,000, roughly. So. And I mean, like. That's like stock unopened from an importer. So insane. And you know, a couple years ago they used to be like $1,500 or, you know, just under $1,000 or around $1,000. So
right on.
They were cheap then, now they're not. So people are exploring other means of swapping cars with different motors that aren't as common now but are cheaper. So what's your favorite motor? What's your motor? I mean, obviously I know everything has, I know this is a tough one, right? So honestly, I've had anywhere from like stock KA coupes and like KA hatches and KA S14s to SR20 stuff like stock and built, and then obviously 1Js. I've never bought a 2J, they're just more expensive than my budget at the time, so 1Js just work. And I don't know, I've kind of stuck with them now. They're very simple and reliable. It's a Toyota motor, so it just, I don't know. I basically leave the car loaded in the trailer, I unload it, bolt check it, fluids, stuff like that, and then from there, and then just put it back in the trailer, and it stays loaded, ready to go, and I just show up to events and drive and put it back in the trailer. So that's awesome, dude. I think that's the life, you know, having a car that you don't need to work on too much. You just go drive and have fun. Exactly. So again, we met Matt out at Speed Metal. Yes. How'd you hear about that event? Taco from Loose Socks hit me up. He was just like, hey, we're trying to have a bunch of drivers that want to represent the drift scene in a positive way. Absolutely. You guys did, bro. And show that not everyone that drifts is just like total, I don't know how to say like hood rat bullshit. Exactly, doing donuts in the intersection, stuff like that. There's actually a scene behind it where people come out and drive events. And skilled. Exactly, more than just doing donuts in an intersection. So, John
is amazing. I could talk about John all day. I think
he's a great guy.
John is pure grassroots drift. He is like lives and breathes it, and his passion for the sport has like he's my, I call him my drift sensei. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like he's been teaching me the ropes with a lot of things, the basics, and hopefully we'll be working together on some other cool stuff in the future. Matt got jumped over there at Speed Metal. Right after that, it was pretty gnarly to see a lot of other people start to do that.
Yeah.
Not that that's bad. It was just cool. Like it's not like, oh, you guys are fighting us. No, it's like it's cool to see the influence that you guys have.
Yep.
Because it's not Terra Crew. We're just the channel, right? We're just the group of friends, but it's the drivers. It's the guys who represent the underground, and the grassroots is what really makes it. So I could talk to you all day about this stuff, but I think it's time to talk about this bad boy.
Yeah, it's a good car.
So tell us about this thing, man. What's up with it?
So this car started out as the Part Shop Max Vert, and Tommy Roberts owned it. I don't know how long he owned it. I know it was like over 10 years. You know, they did a bunch of stuff with it, and like, you know, I think they made the knuckles that PVM now sells on this car.
So this was the prototype car?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive everything off the top of my head, but Tommy basically, you know, had the car for a long time. He ended up taking everything off this car and putting it in a coupe that he owns. And, you know, when he did that, the car got sold to a guy named Mitch, who's Tommy's friend and one of my friends also. And Mitch had it for a couple of years, just sitting in his garage, not doing anything with it. I had just sold one of my cars, and he basically was like, hey, would you be interested in buying the shell off me? So I bought the shell, and from there it was like a 60-day build process from start to finish of basically being a bare shell to what it is here.
That is such a crazy ass turnaround, dude.
Yeah,
dude. Hats off to you, man.
It kind of just happened. So
yeah, you were hungry. You had it. You had everything you needed. You made it happen.
Yeah, I had the swap. Rob from Pop Shop or Pursuit of Perfection, he did the CD09 swap kit. So I demoed that and, you know, set the CD09 up in it behind the JZ. You know, typical just excessive mounts, and bolted it up in, and, you know, wiring specialties harness, and
there it is.
It was good to go. Besides that, I did, like, you know, the whole chassis harness. Meyer Race Wire in Arizona, he no longer makes them, but I bought a chassis harness off a buddy of mine from him a couple years ago, and it kind of just sat. And then when I started building this car, I figured it'd be the perfect time to use it. So threw that in the car.
How long have you been driving this thing, man?
Probably about a year. So I built it from like December to beginning of February. And then
so relatively new when you had it at Speed Metal.
Yeah. So I did basically from January or December to February building it, and then from there I basically went out and hit a bunch of Apple Valley events here, and then a couple Horse Thief Mile events. You know, from there it basically turned into, you know, a reliable car, and I put all the panels on and got it painted. Yeah, pretty much. Ready to rip. Yeah, kind of where it ended up at, and it just kind of, now it's here. So
well, look at this beauty now, dude. Want to pop the hood?
Yes, sir.
Let's see it. Ooh. There she is, man. Take us on the tour.
So it's a stock 1JZ VVTi out of a JZX 110 stock turbo with a Future Fab downpipe. Besides that, I didn't really do a whole lot of anything else to it. It's unopened, stock head gasket and all that stuff. So just did the reliable stuff to it so I could go drive events without having issues. So that was like a swirl pot, so the system bleeds consistently.
Okay.
And it vents down to a tank down here on the, down there, basically just zip tied.
Okay, right down there somewhere?
Yeah, it's kind of in the front, you can't see it. Besides that, just a power steering cooler.
That bad boy right there?
Yes, sir. And I mounted it sideways on the frame rail.
Whatever works.
Yeah, so I mounted it sideways because if you're drifting, you're going sideways. So the airflow is going to be sideways. If you mount it straight forward in the front, it's not going to get airflow. So
drift science. damn, dude, freaking awesome. That's some drift. We in pre-runner language we call it bro science. This is drift science.
It just made sense to mount it sideways.
Yeah.
I don't know. You get airflow going sideways because you're going sideways.
Absolutely, dude. Hell yeah. Very cool, dude. And by the way, this is so incredibly clean. It doesn't even look like you've been driving a ton of events. You know, you even pulling up and you pulling off the track. You know, the care you have for this thing is phenomenal, and I love like the welds. Everything looks dialed, dude. This thing's a beast.
Yeah. So the whole front end is removable. So when I got the chassis from Tommy, they had plates already welded to the chassis.
Okay.
When they had the plates welded to the chassis, the engine bay was all painted. So I kind of was in the position, instead of welding a tube front to that or tubes to the chassis and grinding the paint off and having to repaint it, I made it removable. So there's 3 bolts on each side. And then there's 2 on the front of the frame rails that you can't see. Okay. 2 on each side, and basically the whole front end pulls off with the intercooler and radiator still attached to it.
Crazy. Super clean, well thought out.
It just made it easy. So if I ever have to service it, I unbolt, there and the front of the frame rails and undo these and unhook some water lines, and the whole front end basically pulls off on its own.
Amazing.
With the intercooler and radiator attached.
Perfect, dude. So front end, we got Part Shop Max.
Part Shop Max lowers. Okay. And then it has the first generation of their knuckles, I'm pretty sure. Which is like a stock knuckle modified into a drop knuckle. And I think that was their demo. I'm not positive though. And then Z32 calipers, typical drift stuff on an S chassis. Fuel 441s because they just feel great.
Those bad boys right there.
Yes, sir.
Right on. Very clean, dude. Again, amazing car. It doesn't even look like you drove it all day.
Yeah.
Well, not even all day, but what'd you do, like 15 laps? 10, 15?
I did like 15 laps today. I showed up at like, 2 o'clock just to make sure I came here to do this video shoot, so.
And you know what? Let's see some footage. Let's do Matt Vgo montage. Cool, man. Let's see. What front end is this? This is beautiful, dude.
So it's a Sylvia front end, D-Max hood, Origin combat eyes, and then obviously Origin Type 3 fenders and Origin Raceline body kit.
This is goals, dude. I love this kit, dude. It looks so damn good, man.
Yeah, I have it on both my coupes. It's like it's one of those things where it looks aggressive and it fits well, especially with like the style of the car that I like. So
I never wanted a vert until I seen this.
It's a good car.
Not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in any bad way. Beautiful car. But what I mean is after seeing this one, I'm like, oh, man.
So when verts are in the stock form, they have basically these things on their doors that come up for the seat belts in this area. And so when they're there, there's a big hump kind of for the seat belt to come off to the side.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously like a bunch of like convertible reinforcements inside. Obviously when Tommy did it, he kind of cut all that stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Martin did this cage actually from OMD back in the day. But
so this whole cage, look at this thing, beautiful.
Yeah, so Martin did this back in the day. I didn't get to do this one myself. I would have liked to, but in the build time frame, it wasn't worth cutting out and redoing.
Yeah. Well, again, dude, absolutely epic looking car, phenomenal. I think since we're here in the inside, let's check this bad boy out. So no halo seat for the passenger, but not for you.
So when I first built the car originally, I didn't have a passenger seat in it. I just put a driver's seat in it and harnesses, and I drove like, 10 events like that.
That was speed metal.
No, I think I put the seat in for speed metal.
Oh, okay.
So I had driven like 10 events, 15 events with no passenger seat. And then for speed metal, I was like, I need to do ride-alongs, obviously. So I quickly just, had a random seat laying around in my shed. I got a ton of stuff back there, but like I basically just grabbed harnesses and a seat and threw it in the car, and
there it is.
Kind of left it like that. Obviously, halo on the driver's side would be more ideal, but
no, dude, this is ready to rip.
It just kind of went like that, and I threw it in.
So we're talking about the bash bars front and back.
Yep.
They're right underneath for quick changes.
Yep. jacking up the car if you have to work on it. Makes it easy and not have to go underneath it or pull a bumper off.
Yeah.
It's annoying to have to pull a bumper off just to jack the car up, or like drive it up onto blocks or something like that to get the jack underneath, even with the low pro. Some of the cars are just that low where it just makes it a hassle. So,
dude, well, epic, absolutely clean, dude. Any other points that we forgot about the car?
It's a good car, dude. I don't. Besides that, I mean, it's just the typical 1JZ S13, you know, with the stock 1J CD09.
Typical but beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I just made sure it has nice paint. Obviously, I keep the kit on. I like to present well. If I'm going to show up, I want to make sure the car's put together. It's not fun to show up to an event with a car that's like, you know, not working or, you know, half put together and it's just like braking and lap brake.
Well, dude, your driving style reflects how amazing this car looks, dude. You know, you go hard. I know you do. We got some footage. But on the flip side, you make this car look amazing.
It's crazy. I think I've done I don't know 10 events with it painted now, and it still looks the same.
Absolutely brand new.
So
can we tell the people the special message about this car?
What is the special message?
For sale.
Oh yeah, it is for sale currently right now.
Yeah.
If you're interested, you can hit it up.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a cool car, track car, reliable, show up to events, drive all day, not break, this is the car for you. So.
This is it right here. You guys, hell yeah. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate you, dude. Car looks amazing. Cannot wait to hopefully we got a bunch of bangers and the car sells.
Yes.
Matt is not out of drifting. He had some other cars that he has working on.
I have a 1JZ coupe that's, you know, rear mount, CD09, big turbo, fire suppression, all the little like things that you gotta check off the list. But
and what's your plans for the off-road world?
So when this sells, I really want to build a truck. So Ranger that's linked I-beams or something along the lines of that, or maybe a cool pre-smog truck if I can come across something that's like, I don't know, what, pre-75, I think.
Okay.
So something like that that's I-beamed would be cool.
Dude.
You know,
look at this guy. He's one of us.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, Nick's here. What's up, Nick? All right, guys. Well, this is super awesome, man. I wish Morgan Clark would buy this car.
Morgan would like this car.
Dude, this I kind of feel like this screams Morgan, but you know what?
He'd probably cut the cage out and redo it all himself.
I wouldn't want him to, but hopefully he could just, you know, live with it and you know, appreciate the car for what it is. That's the special thing about the drift world. It doesn't need to be
crazy
your certain way. You kind of just go with it. You like each car is like an era, and I think some of the off-road homies can understand that there's eras like for cars and builds. Like, oh, that's such a 2000s car or a mid 2000s car or a 90s build, and I feel like the same thing goes with these cars. So keeping it true to itself is really cool, and it's good for the budget overall. You know what I mean? A lot of these kits are, and a lot of these things, but maintenance can definitely be a challenge. But overall, dude, look at this thing, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, Matt. Appreciate you, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Every Tuesday, new episodes coming out. We got drift, we got moto, we got all the good stuff. If you guys have any questions about Matt about this car being for sale, hit him up. We'll put his Instagram right here. And his email, whatever, we got that. And we'll be in touch, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you guys have any questions or any other people you guys would like us to feature, please let us know. But I think we're off to a good start. See you guys. Take care.